What's up, guys? Johalius here, and I'm just chilling. I'm gonna show you how to get 3 void torrents in Legion 7.1 post nerf. Screw you, Blizz. Let's do it. Let's jump right into it. So here we go. Refresh dots. Here we go. Why am I so jacked? I don't get it. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. 3 void torrents. We'll just keep it going here for a couple globals. And there it is. So, okay, 3 void torrents. Not bad, huh? Not bad. I actually recorded this 2 other times, and I didn't realize that I didn't hit the record button, so this is like the 5th time I've recorded it successfully. So, okay, so you want to know how to do it. So, what you're going to do is you're going to get up to your void eruption. You're going to refresh your dots. You can just go back and watch the video, but I'll talk through it right now. So void eruption, void torrent immediately. Void torrent 1 immediately. Right after, dispersion. You don't have to dispersion, but with the nerfs, 3 void torrents, the windows are a lot tighter. There's a lot less room for error. So what I like to do is dispersion right after. It gives you about maybe 6-7 seconds all said and done on the last void torrent. It gives you that extra time. So void torrent 1 immediately. You don't do any other casts other than your void bolts, your mind flays, and your mind blast. You don't do any other big casts until around 50 stacks. You're going to start looking for that second void torrent. It's going to come up around 50 stacks, 50 to 60 window. Maybe a little bit later, but if it's later than like 60, it's going to be tight on that 3rd void torrent. So you want to hit that. I like to death right before it, and then use it right as it comes off cooldown. You want to use it immediately, always. After the 2nd void torrent, you're going to keep building up, okay? Around 70 stacks, you want to pop your Shadow Fiend. 70 stacks, Shadow Fiend. Around 75, I like to hit Berserking because I have Troll. Now, the combination of Shadow Fiend and Berserking gets me from about 75 stacks. Berserking lasts for 10 seconds. It gets me to about 85 stacks. I pop PI at 85. You pop PI at 85, you hit that mark. You hit all these marks, you're good. But if you hit that mark in particular, you're like 90% getting your 3rd void torrent. You're chilling. So PI at 85, ride that all the way out. You want to get as far as you can. Have both deaths gone. Be almost have no spells left before you hit your dispersion, ideally. Prolong that dispersion, that second dispersion, as long as you can. In that dispersion, you saw me. I popped my Medallion of the Fire Flash. This medallion is extremely good. I recommend all of you get it if you have enough gold. I got lucky. I got a JC to proc it on the first try. The stat ratios, crit to haste isn't ideal. Ideally, you would want higher haste than crit, but haste does fall off, so this does work fine. So you pop this in dispersion if you can. It sets you up. If you go back and watch the video, you'll see me. I end up at like 100 insanity coming out of that dispersion, and because I have that 100 insanity, that gives me a little bit of a buffer to go ahead and cast one more Mind Blast at like 100 stacks. I can cast a Mind Blast, which is with and PI has fallen off at this point, so so I get that. I think I get one more bolt in after that Mind Blast out of the dispersion, and then I get a death, I believe, and then I hit the third Void Torrent. And that's really it. So you hit those marks. So one more time, I'll say it. So you Void Eruption, you Void Torrent 1 immediately right off the gate, dispersion. Okay, around 50 stacks, you start to look for that second Void Torrent. You want to like death before that, because deaths are, they're free. They don't matter as much. They don't require you to use them as precisely around 50 stacks. Or later in the game, you wanna save those deaths. Those are matter of life and death, literally. That some puns are in there. I didn't mean that intentionally. So second Void Torn around 50 stacks. You want to hit that on the dot. Shadow Fiend at 70. Berserking 75. PI 85. You do that. And you prolong that dispersion. Right out of the dispersion, you're gonna snag your third Void Torrent. Now I don't have a mark set for dispersion, because the mark is sort of up in the air, right? There may be situations where you may do 2 deaths accidentally and you have to dispersion early, in which case it's going to be hard for you to get the torrent out. And there may be times where it's very easy for you. You may not even need to disperse before your third Void Torrent, but most likely you're going to have to disperse before that third Void Torrent, so just prolong it as much as you can, and then pop the medallion in the dispersion. That'll give you that extra buffer, that nice 100 insanity coming out, and then that makes it just very, very easy. Very likely you'll get the third Void Torrent. So that's it. That's really the whole video. It's after you get the hang of it, the first couple times it may seem like what the heck, but you really have to be maybe respectful is the word I'm looking for here, of your death cast, right? You can't use them too much. You can't get greedy and start using too many deaths, because you run out of deaths and you're just dead. So you have to be very careful. What I like to do is, if I Mind Blast and Void Bolt, usually on a Mind Blast cast is whenever I'll have to death, because during the Mind Blast cast later on, like 70 stacks or so, you'll drop a lot of insanity during that cast, so I'll usually have to death to bring that back up. So I usually like to trade a death out for a Mind Blast, but that isn't always the case. It's really, a lot of it is on feel. You'll get the feel for it, and it's really not that bad. So that's it. Just watch it over. Hopefully this helps some of you guys out on getting your 3 Void Torrents. If you get 3 Void Torrents, anything over that is just icing on the cake. Anything out of that third Void Torrent is icing on the cake. And in some raid fights, of course, you're going to have Bloodlust low at low HP, like Ursoc. So it's even easier to get this. This is like for those fights where you might Bloodlust at the start, like maybe Nathindra, you'll Bloodlust immediately. So that's what this is. Set this up perfectly. 3 Void Torrents, and you're a Ball Shadow Priest. So that's it. That's all I've got for you guys. Until next time. See ya.